everybody, welcome back to the Flat Thunder channel. My name's Andy, and you can hear good old Margaret purring along behind us with the exhaust that needs repaired. We got the little power pack motor on the crane running, and we're getting ready to do some lifting. Today we're going to do some layout work and try to pick some of the pile of parts over in this area here to set them on the truck so we can do some estimating and measuring. Here we go. Extra hooks, always critical. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's better than it was. I need some new rigging and some knowledge of how the heck to do it. This thing's kind of weird, and I think we'll get it where we need to go. Trying to set our sliding fifth wheel plate down on the frame to do some estimating, and we have these blocks, an old grain body that are in the way. These guys right here, kind of holding things up and holding it up off the frame. We're gonna try to zip those off there real quick. Got them off there relatively easy with no real big problem, but what's kind of cool about this and not so cool is if you take that off of there, here's a big layer of rust jacking that kind of delaminated and swelled up. Also created kind of like a cavity where pieces rusted out and the underside swelled up. It's kind of neat. Kind of neat, but not cool when it does it to your frame rails. So we got both sides chopped off of there. Let's get this fifth wheel plate back down here. Of course, we're going to keep not the rust piece, but the solid chunk. We'll use that for something. Got the fifth wheel plate on there. We just popped some bolts in here to kind of keep it trapped in the frame rails. That way it doesn't slide off left to right. And we're gonna throw a couple ratchet straps on here to make sure this doesn't move. That's obviously not permanent. The piece over there that needs to go on over top of this, but we need to make sure everything is secured. Unfortunately, this disconnect or latch for the fifth wheel plate is in the way. So we need to see if we can somehow latch the jaws so that would pop in and get out of the way. It's a real finger smasher, more like finger destroyer. So if you didn't know, this is the fifth wheel hitch plate from a semi or tractor trailer, and this right here, I'm not even going to stick my fingers in there. This is the jaw that wraps around the pin, and when you back into your trailer, the kingpin will go in there, it'll push against that, and this will close around your kingpin. So I don't have a kingpin, but what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to push on that with something that doesn't destroy our fingers and see if we can't get it to close up on us. Looks like I need 2 boards. Don't know how that even lets that go in. So we got some kind of custom not factory repair on this latch, and what's happening is this wouldn't release up here, so you'd pull it out and then it wouldn't go beneath that edge. So by grinding it a little bit there and a little bit back here, and gave us the room so we can clear that edge. Let's stuff it in there now and see what she does. All right. There, finally. So there's what she looks like latched. This piece, as you saw, wraps around completely, and then this bottom piece here slides in to lock that so that can't come out. Our handle slid in, so it's going to be less in the way now. The next important piece of the puzzle is actually sitting over there. It's been just laying in the dirt, well, the gravel in our driveway for a very long time, along with this fifth wheel hitch plate. We need to get that up off the ground, get it up here and start estimating. I did do a little tape measuring, and I don't think it's going to fit as I originally expected, just because of the width of the fifth wheel hitch plate. But the only way to tell is to get up there and do it. So let's get back there. We got to reposition the truck and we'll start lifting. Here we go. Well, that took a little bit more work than I really expected, but we got the deck. If you didn't know, what we have here is an aluminum flatbed deck. This is going to be a modular deck. You're probably asking yourself, why in the world would I put a sliding fifth wheel hitch underneath a flatbed deck? The main goal here is to make it such that this aluminum deck will be on a fabricated structure with a kingpin, and it'll clip in to the fifth wheel hitch when you want to have a flatbed deck. And when you want to use the fifth wheel hitch, you use the crane, you lift it off, and then you'll have yourself a fifth wheel hitch where you can haul a trailer. I needed to get this up there so we can do some estimating. Some things really didn't work out as I originally intended. Up here, this will be all the way up, but right now our fuel cell is in the way. This will be all the way up to the crane. The width of it, the width of the structure on the flatbed body is a little bit different. I thought it was going to be able to wrap around the fifth wheel hitch, but unfortunately, if you look up in there, the fifth wheel hitch is actually just a little bit wider, so it's not wide enough for it to sit on top. The fabricated structure that we make is going to have to sit on top of the fifth wheel, clip into the kingpin, and support the flatbed body. But now we can do some estimating and measuring so we know exactly what we need to make. Before, I had no idea. Here it is. It's kind of hard to see. There's the fifth wheel hitch. It's just barely hanging on the end, and then barely hanging on the end here. We got to sit down on those boards there, and that's roughly going to be the height of the flatbed deck. Now we're going to change the wheelbase to shorten this whole thing when we create the new chassis. And then there's our fifth wheel hitch hiding out underneath there. Woo! So much room for activities. Yes! Ah! Wah! Wah! I'm super excited about this. This is a major step in the right direction. Now I can start estimating how the wheelbase on the new chassis with the air ride needs to look, how this flatbed aluminum deck is going to interface with the sliding fifth wheel hitch, and the overall wheelbase we can estimate. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Leave your questions and comments in that section below, and don't forget to punch that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.